Good morning, guys. How are you? Good, Guyettes? Right, at long last, here we are at the final reveal of my Gulf Wars group build. What can I say? Thoroughly enjoyed it. Loved every minute of it, to be honest. Not one part of it I hated. Yeah, really enjoyed it. And of course, we've got till New Year's Eve, so this year, so I'm definitely going to look at some other things to do, I think, as well. Just get a couple of other guys' group builds out of the way first, and one or two builds I want to possibly do for myself as well, and then I'm going away and crack on with perhaps something else I've got in mind. I'm not sure yet. Right, anyway, basically, I'll show you what's basically what kits are. So the first one here, which is where's my pointy stickies gone? Okay, right. The first one here. Now this is your M1A2 Tusk 2 Tamiya 135th Abrams. You can do 3 different versions of the kit in the box. You can do Tusk 1 and 2 Tusk 1s and 1 Tusk 2, and I've done the Tusk 2 version, sorry. Basically the difference is the amount of armour that they have on the sides and all that. Tusk 1 is, I think if I'm correct, without the shells on and nothing on the side of the turret. Whereas Tusk 2 is basically, as you see, the full works. It all depended on missions that they did. So that sort of tank would be going into street warfare, house to house clearance and that type of thing that the soldiers were doing, perhaps that type of thing. And yeah, I loved it. So that kit is this, which was that kit. Loved it, like I said. The other one at the back is, let's turn it around so you can see, is the Meng 135th scale again, obviously. M3A3 Bradley. Loved it, great. No fit issues, and mechanical genius. The engineering on this kit to go together is unreal. It's got the full interior, and what I've done different with this kit, let me just show you the box first, is that is the kit. That's the kit, but it's also got that with it, which is the interior. You can actually get the Meng box with the interior, but that's the one I bought, so I bought the interior separate. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's got the interior, like I said. So what I've done is a lot of guys, when they're building tanks, like things done completely correct, which I got no qualms about, and I can totally understand why. But what I seem to think is when you spent the extra money on a kit with the interior, or you bought it separate, or whatever else, or you've done super detailing and done it yourself, why seal it all up when you're going to, unless like there's the odd hatch or two. Luckily for this kit, it has got a good few hatches, so you could perhaps see it without, but the turret interior you can't see at all, really. So what I've done is I've left the lower hull and bottom hull unstuck, and I've also left the turret so you can pull it out like so, just so you can in the future have a good look at the interior and the weathering and all that type of thing. But again, that's my view. That's what I've done. It's not right. It's not wrong. You know. But anyway, yeah, it's a cracking little kit. The figures are the master box figures here with the Iraqi and the sheep included, which is this box set, which I seem to everybody taking part in this group build seems to have. And the other figures are all resin. You have the chap here who's a Navy SEAL, that's that one, and then you've got this chap here who's my favourite one of all time. He is awesome. The detail on this guy is absolutely incredible. It really is fantastic detail. And that's Assault Models, the US Marine Corps guy. Brilliant, it really is. And then last but not least, you have the chap here sitting down, reading, drinking a drink, and geezer here having a bit of a kip, having a fag, sorry, and a rest. And that's basically the Czech models or Czech mouldings, whatever it is, US Army soldiers at rest. So that's them. And then the other guys that you see, which is the gunner here, and then this guy here, is basically the figures that come with the tusk. Now I've made modifications on him here. Number one, he comes with, I'll show you the pictures of him. This is the instructions for it, and this is him. And what basically happened is I lost the head. It vanished in the back garden when we had some really nice weather. I did a bit of modelling outside and it vanished. So what I've done is I've got a Legends head, a bald head for a change, so I've never done a baldy type guy, and basically done it like that and swapped it. The only thing is like I say, his arm, both arms, you can't sort of really adjust. Now this arm was actually stuck up here a bit higher originally because he's supposed to sit here with his hand on the gun or around here somewhere in the hatch. So what I've done is I had an idea to scratch build a laptop, which is there. I've done that out of plastic card, done it all myself, which is quite chuffed with. And I've moved his arm down so it looks like he's tapping on the computer. And then his hand here, the other arm, I can't move at all, and you can't adjust. So what I did is some earphones that I had with that came with the Tamiya kit that was for one of the crew members of the Panther tank, I think. I basically cut them in half, so you've got the earpiece on one, but the other piece, the middle, is sort of comes round by his mouth, and I've painted each end red, so it looks like it's a bit of a microphone, and he's sort of holding his hand against his ear, pushing like the earphone into his ear, so he can hear the message that's coming through from base or something. So yeah, the basic story is then, let's start. I didn't know what to do really at first, so what I wanted is this day and age with all the turmoil of war and everything else that we got going on, I wanted to depict something a bit more easy, a bit more at rest. So basically what it is so let's start. The chap here, the gunner, is just basically reloading his gun, just having a quick look around down, you know, the roadway and all this type of thing. So he's just taking it easy, but you know, making sure he's ready and everything. The Navy SEAL here, and the commander of the Abrams, and I'm going to say just a normal, perhaps a sergeant or you know, a bit higher than that. I can't think of the word at the minute on my mind. It's terrible, isn't it, considering he's been in there. Is basically they're all sitting here and planning the next stage and what's happened, because they've obviously, you can tell by the state of the tanks, they've been in a battle or they've seen action and they're just like sort of pulled out in the outskirts and they're, you know, reloading, having a rest and whatever else, you know. So the drinks bottles I've painted around and I've scattered them around. There's a few inside the Bradley, there's a couple on top of the Bradley, and there's a couple down there which I'll show you in a bit. I've also just basically scratch built a map, another map that is just out of normal paper, and I just drew some bits of green pen on and, you know, red, just to make it look like that. So that's that. The guns, I don't know if you can see, there's a gun there. I'll do some close-ups in a bit. I shall take the tablet a bit closer so you can have a good look, and I'll show you some closer-up shots. What I've actually done is a lot of these figures came with no weapons at all, the resin ones. The Navy SEAL did, but he came with an old M16 assault rifle, which was obviously like from the original Gulf War or Vietnam or somewhere like that. So what I've done is I bought an upgrade white metal set, which I think there's about 5 guns in there, and they're all the M16, the new M16, different versions of it. So what I've done is I know a lot of guys do I was going to leave the slings and the you know, the carrying belts off the guns, but I thought I want to obviously do it a good proper job and make it look realistic as possible. So I've done the strapping on the guns, but what I've done is, instead of using foil and what a lot of other people use in their own methods, I've done my own, and I've basically used this Jammy Dog micro masking tape. It's 5mm stuff, and what I do is I just basically, no folding it, double folding it or anything like that. I just basically cut the length off I need, rub it up and down a dusty surface so it gets rid of the stickiness, and then I just dab with a cocktail stick or a pin, a little bit of super glue, and it can be a bit tedious at times because it doesn't stick, and then you think it has and it comes off and whatever else, but just, you know, persist and it does work, and yeah, and stick it on. So there you go. So he's got one, the Navy SEAL, the soldier here's got one, and the commander of the tank's got one. Now I did originally leave the commanders actually in the hatch there, but I was thinking, even though it's a bit peaceful at this time and whatever else, he perhaps would take it with him just to make doubly sure. I mean, okay, he's got a handgun on him, but still, you know, you never know. So, and then this soldier here, so they are basically talking about what they're going to do next in the next move and whatever else. This soldier here is just basically met a local, an Iraqi, that's come with his sheep, and is basically just having a good chat and trying to take, just, you know, basically talking to him, saying you can't come much further or whatever else, you know, just in case he's trying to look, or he could be an informant or something, you don't know. The Bradley crew, I'm quite chuffed with actually. What I've done here is because it's an infantry, sorry, not an infantry, cavalry fighting vehicle. What I've done is done it so the crew are actually reloading the tow missiles here. So they're actually, he's got one. He is originally supposed to be standing there holding his helmet, which I've actually put there. And he's holding one of the tow missiles, and this chap here is kneeling down looking into the back of the tow, you know, the projector, the mortar side, the rocket launcher, and there's another tow there, casing and that. So then there's the captain, sort of the commander, sort of talking to them and having a chat with them and that, you know, talking about what to do. So that's the crew there. I was really chuffed with that idea actually. I just suddenly clicked and I thought, oh, I'm actually going to do that, you know. So that's that bit of the story there. As you can see, the Abrams is in the NATO paint scheme with the desert scheme on the Tusk armour. I really like that idea, so I thought, why not, and so I did that. I've actually added a bit of wiring, fuse wire onto the back of the machine gun there, on the back of the searchlight there, and the machine gun there as well, just to make it look a bit more realistic. Added a bit of barbed wire onto this, the Bradley at the front here. Now the Bradley, the only bit of NATO scheme here is just the armour at the front there. I just wanted it to be sand coloured, which I thought was pretty good. The toe actually moves. I've done that now, and that's going to be an arse. Now I know that for all you guys out there, I know that the driver's hatch on the Bradley only opens at 45 degrees. I know that, but I don't care. So yeah, these will move. You bugger, it's open again, shut again. Anyway, by the by. Yeah, so that moves and all that, and so does the toe. The walls I've done out of dash clay. That's all done out of dash clay. I've done that myself, all scratch built. Not particularly great at it, but still. The barbed wire is actually modelling barbed wire, which is from Army Painter, I think, or something. The other bits of straight wire in there is just basically fused wire, just to make it look a bit more, you know, like the frame was done. All the stowage in the tanks from Ryefield kits and other kits I've had, apart from the sort of more to like modern ammunition cases and sort of the extra tow sort of cases. They are from Bees. You got them from Stoke-on-Trent Modelling Show. So I've done them up and used them. They're resin. This IED detector is not come with the kit at all. I nicked that off the Meng Cougar and scratch built it and arranged it myself. This chap here is having a quick fag. The US Army guy there having a bit of a fag and rest. and taking in a bit of shade, and he's talking to the Bradley crew member here, asking what's happening and that. This Bradley box here, I mean the storage box at the back, I've actually opened, so it makes it look something else you can actually look at. You know, something different to sort of catch the eye and whatever else. I don't know if you can see there, but you can see the interior for the Bradley there. This hatch actually moves and opens and shuts, but obviously I've left it open because the way that this guy's leaning. Added a metal chain on there, and I've rusted it with the AK metal burnishing stuff. Anything, guys, that you're not too sure of on this video, I have explained my techniques and whatever else in the previous updates and that. So, you know, if you're not too sure, then by all means have a look. Basically the telegraph poles are just pieces of wood that I've got from B&Q, cut them up and sized them up and done it. The wire, I was actually going to use fuse wire, but it doesn't look realistic at all, it's too thin. But this, I mean, I know it doesn't look particularly great, but it's better than it was, and it's basically jewellery beading wire, and that's what I use. I also use that for tow cables sometimes instead of the picture hanging wire, because it looks a bit more better sometimes, and it's a lot more, you know, durable and that. These are actually, the fencing is basically these things that I've borrowed from Tesco's and Asda's and wherever else, the coffee shops. I will give them back, I promise, when I've finished using them. I've just broken them up and added some oils on and streaked it and whatever else to make it look like flooring. The road surface underneath, I was talking about in one of my first updates that I actually made the road, is basically this stuff. This Jarvis, it comes in a roll like so, and it's just rolled up tarmac. So I just obviously cut the slice that we want and then stick it down, and I've weathered it. The weathering, the pigments and that I've used is just basically pigments, that's all I've done. And it is basically the dust, which is Vallejo Pigments, which is the desert dust, which is 73.121, 73.121, and the sand and that, which is basically, as it says, MIG Productions, and it's P037. That's P037, and it's basically Gulf War sand, so I couldn't think of anything better to use. I have also drilled the smoke grenade launchers here. I drilled the holes out and added some old sprue. I've blended them into shape and made them into shape, and then I've used the Tamiya Extra Thin to sort of melt it and fit them into the sockets, that, you know, to sort of mould it and that, which is I thought works quite well. I've added a little message on the side of the tow, which a lot of these vehicles did have written on from the crew, and I've just basically put on the side of the tow missiles launcher, just put for you Saddam on there. I've added a bit of battle damage here on the Abrams. I don't know if you can see that, can you? Yeah, just a little bit. I know it's not great, but like I say, I will do some close-ups in a bit. These are just rocks out of the back garden and that I've dusted up and weathered. The bits of grassing and all that type of thing is like your Jarvis stuff, your Scenic Factory and MIG ammo stuff. Sorry guys, I've just got my Star Wars mug with my coffee, excuse me, it's still very early in the morning. Yeah, so that's all I've done with that. The drinks bottles, which I've added around the diorama, just obviously with there's some in the back there, the Bradley, and also here with the ammo boxes and that, basically just from the Ryefield full interior Abrams. I just cut them off. They come with as an extra bonus feature for you. So I just basically cut some of them off. When I did the full reveal of the Bradley, when I'd finished that, I don't know, most of you guys will remember, but I actually showed this, which was a net that I scratch built. And what it is it's basically a net that went over the turret of the Bradley. And it's got two main reasons that the crew use them for. Number one, it's to protect against snipers, to put the snipers off so they can't particularly see them. I'm not going to actually add it on this because I don't want to break the aerials off, but it just basically goes over like so. See if I can actually do it so you can see what it's like. In a nutshell, that's how it goes, and then the back sort of clicks down somehow. Let's see if I can do it without breaking anything. Anyway, it goes like that, and so like snipers can't pick off the crew. As you can see, it's quite hard to see the crew member there, and also it helps protect. They use them as sunshades as well, to protect against the sun and that type of thing. So that's that. I've added a rusted piece of barbed wire on the side there. Now, a lot of these Bradleys and vehicles used to have sort of razor wire, it was. And basically what they used it for, you'll see a lot of research pictures of them on, was basically when they were parked up and set up the cordons and that, they used to stick it around the cordon, so like if they were there at night they could hear intruders coming, or you know, it just basically blocked off people from coming and whatever else here. But that was it basically. But yeah, I've just added my own little bit. You know, it's not half as big as it should be, but you know, excuse the passing cars. It's absolutely red hot in England at the minute, and it's absolutely boiling. And so I've had to leave the windows open. But yeah, so that was the suicide netting. Now, every single vehicle I've seen on YouTube of the Bradleys, I've not seen one YouTube video that has done or added a net like that on it. Now, I do apologise if I've missed one and there is one on there, but from what I've seen there isn't. So that's why I thought I'll do that, just something different, something a bit new, you know, and it gives up the guys a different idea, you know, to do that perhaps sometime if they want to, you know, it's something just a bit different to add to the vehicle really. But so really guys, in a nutshell, that's all I can really tell you. I'm chuffed with it. I seriously recommend both kits. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't get the Bradley because you've got the interior and you're basically building a full tank. There is a couple of bits missing off the Bradley from the actual real life version. Number one, in the driver's compartment, the front main panel with a few switches and dials on there is missing, which they could have added that in if there was, you know, but they haven't, so it's not a biggie anyway. I mean, like I say, a lot of guys will leave the two holes attached to each other, won't they? So, you know, it's not a biggie really. What else was there? That's it really, I think. The gun, they both are actually the kit's guns. None of them are metal barrels or anything like that. The only one I've changed is this one at the front for the Abrams. It's actually the rifled one, spare. It's about 4 different pieces to it, and it does look a hell of a lot better than the actual Tamiya ones. One nag I've made no secret of in previous videos about Tamiya kits are, I can't understand why they don't drill out the gun barrel ends. I just think it's just a bit lazy, and being one of the biggest, in fact probably the biggest and richest company in the world for modelling, I would say, with all the lines that they do in modelling, they can't take time to drill out a gun barrel. I don't know. You know, perhaps I'll get shot for that, but it's my opinion anyway. But you guys who've followed me for a while now will know that I love Tamiya, so you know, you'll barely ever catch me slating them. But yeah guys, that really is about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick you on pause. Oh yeah, I'll just show you the main bits I've used for research materials on these kits are basically, for the Bradley I've used the Osprey book, which is pretty good. Another Osprey book there, which, I mean, okay, it's the M2 and these are a lot older ones. As you can see, what I do is I mark off pictures I've seen and bits of information I've seen. For uniforms and that, I've used that for the Marines and stuff, you know, another Osprey book. And then again for the Bradley, this one I've used these are incredible. These squadron books are brilliant. I've got I used one of these for the M10 tank destroyer, the Tamiya one, because they really are something. These books are fantastic, and you can get them from Hannants, I think. They're about 15 quid. And now I know a lot of people will be saying, well, just use the internet nowadays, but I'm old school. I love books. You can't beat them. You're just looking through them and the pictures, and you've just gone in there forevermore, haven't you? You know, it's just great. So, you know, just well worthwhile. Oh, there's just a quick view of one with the Bradley with the frame, sniper frame there, and then just another one there as well, just quickly. It's good timing. Oh, and there's one with the net as well, that's good. And another one with the net, sniper's net on. Anyway, and then for the Abrams, I've used the another Tankergrad book, which is German and British English. There's the actual colour scheme I've actually used for my Abrams. And these books, which most of you will know about now, these are brilliant. These Images of War books are outstanding. They really are. So many different versions of them, you know, and different, you know, versions of them, you know, like vehicles and all that type of thing. There's one that's just been brought out. The actual Meng have just brought that out, haven't they? The or is it Ryefield? Ryefield just brought the Abrams Preacher out, haven't they? So there's a good one for that. Showing you there firing a missile off that basically a big wiring. Along the wire it lands, and then along the wire is full of explosives. So it's for IEDs that you've got like down the road. It just basically sets the whole IEDs off in the area that's landed. It's brilliant. Right, so guys, I'll put you on pause and then I'll show you there's some close-ups. Alright guys, we're back. Sorry about the shakiness, but I'm just basically going to show you as best as I can some close-ups. I'm going to have to try and be a bit quick because when I did this before, it cancelled on me and it just basically, you know, finished off, cleared the video. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a great little project, and I will be doing something else on the War Gulf War thing. Might look at perhaps doing a plane or something like that. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, thoroughly loved it. Bit of streaking there on the wall from the rusty barbed wire just there. Where have I put my pointy sticky now? Oh well. We come round here. There's the chappie in having a rest, having a fag. You see the guns there with a bit of strapping on, which I'm quite chuffed with. There's your bit of rubble and all that type of thing. And we'll come round, turn it around. You see the back of the Abrams. The stowage on. And if we turn this around, you see inside the Bradley. Not all that well really, but it's better than nothing. Let me just see if I can get something that you can show you actually in the Bradley. Is that any better? Can you see any better in there? See the seat belt to the Bradley. And the turret ring and the turret basket. And then I've done weathering on the telegraph poles. Bit of oil streaking on the side of the Bradleys there. The Abrams. Metal chain, as you can see. Turn it around. There you can see, if we go in here just a bit more, you can sort of see the turret with the wiring in there for the gun, and the searchlight, and then there's your gunner. Come back out a bit. Sorry guys if it's making any of your heads wobble and all that type of thing, but it's the only thing I can sort of do really that shows you, you know, any better. There's the I love the decal on that there, on the side of the barrel. The Abrams, absolute death, I love that. There's your Special Forces, your Navy SEAL. On this side I've added Beastmaster, the barrel. this I've added a Special Forces gun, which is a Special Forces colour, shall we say, which is your sort of khaki brown colour. There's my hand finger there, and the rim, and then you've got the soldier there holding binoculars, and then his helmet on the side there, and then I've done sort of like a red and white spotted headscarf, just something different. There's your guy sitting down having a drink, you know, commander with the commander from the Abrams, talking and perhaps going through your next bits of things. Here's your Iraqi, there's your little sheep, oops sorry. But on the side of this chap there, you can see, I don't know if you can just see, I can pick out his scissors I've added onto the drop pouch. There's the stones from home in the back garden. I knew that was going to happen. There you go, yeah, there's a bit of the weathering and that on the Bradley. Added some oil streaks from the MiG ammo stuff just there. And then basically, that is it guys, really. Take you back here. So, in a way, I hope you all enjoyed it guys. I hope you all found it okay. I've thoroughly enjoyed the project, I think it's been great. Here's to another one, and here's to all you guys that are entering and comment and everything else. It's so good of you. I actually did my first few photos on ISM last night for the first time in ages, and I did these, showed these off, and the feedback I got was brilliant. I'm so chuffed by it. It really did please me. I was well impressed. You're never impressed with your own work, are you? I mean, I certainly aren't, as you guys know, so there you go. Right guys, anyway, my next video is going to be my entry into a group build that I'm about to take part in. It's I'll give you a heads up. It's a wingy thing, one of them things that go in the sky. I can't remember what they're called because I'm used to doing these type of things now. But I'm looking forward to doing that because the guy I'm doing it for is a good friend of mine. So looking forward to that. But that'll be my next video. It won't be a massive video because it's just showing the kit. Now, I will say one thing. The tablet did die this morning, so while I've been waiting for it to charge, I have actually started it, but I've just started adding a few bits of fuse wire to the engine and that, you know, just detailing it a bit more. Because the way I'm going to do the playing, I'll explain in the video. I'm just going to do it with the open sort of engine and that type of thing, just make it look a bit more interesting. Anyway guys, that's it. I'll stop rambling now. I hope you're all well. I hope you all stay safe, and I hope you're all staying safe, especially at the minute with all these horrible attacks going on. I hope you're all well. I hope you'll stay safe, guys. I'm sorry about the wobbliness in the video, but it's the best way I could think of to get some close-ups for you. As I don't do all this editing and all that, what you see is what you get with me, I'm afraid. Anyway, guys, hope you're all well. Hope you'll stay safe, and you never guess what, but may the force be with you.